And welcome back, everybody, to Storytellers Twitch. Okay, so we just had our Halloween special. You guys all saw that, and this was pretty fun. One thing I just told Justin, and I want to point out, the Dominatrix character was actually taken from a newsletter I saw of a Russian woman finding a thief in her store. She bound him up, fed him on a dragon, and used him as a sex toy. He barely escaped with his life. Which is where I took the whole thing from. That's where the idea jumped. Well,
so that was art imitating life right there.
That's art imitating life, exactly. Yes, I need to confirm my girlfriend beat me up with her makeup. This is what happens.
She punched him really hard with little brushes.
Exactly, multiple times around. You know, even like cracked my head a bit here. Well, guys, again, how this works is that we talk to you. So, what do you guys think about Halloween special? What have you guys had fun? Have you guys enjoyed it? Would you want to see something different? And would you like to have seen something different here? If yes, please point it out, and we can talk it again between us and you. And what do you want to see next? You want to see another fairy tale? You want to see maybe a sci-fi? Do you maybe want to see another horror? What do you guys want to see? We're interested in knowing your opinion. We're interested in knowing what you guys want, because in the end, the idea is us to have fun and entertain you, because that's why we're doing it. Because you guys are awesome, and you are worth the whole preparation, the whole work we put into this. Do you say anything, Justin?
No, I think that pretty much sums it up.
Okay. So
sometimes there's nothing to add, and anything you say just takes away.
Agreed. One of the things I was thinking to do today was actually a Lovecraft story, but Lovecraft is pretty descriptive. This was not our good idea. This was not our original idea again, and I thought it would be pretty nice for you. Poetries and gods and the gods.
Yeah, doing Lovecraft in this context would be really difficult. It'd be fun.
It'd be fun, yeah.
A lot of the original Lovecraft would be really difficult. Some of the people who have written in a Lovecraftian style since then would be a little easier.
Yes, because I would say overall, even if we tried, I think that genuine horror, could be very hardly pulled out of the hat in a role-playing show.
Well, because genuine horror, it's not about just the story; it's about the tone. There's a darkness to it. There's like setting the scene, which you can do, but then you go off in this discussion of, can I do this? What would happen if I did this? Stuff like that, and then it sort of breaks the mood. So you have to constantly reestablish the mood.
It's the same as
it would require a lot of prep from us, which we could do. We just didn't have time this time to do prep.
Yeah, it's the same effect you have when you watch a horror movie or play a horror game with your friends. It's just not as scary. When you play it by yourself, when you play Outlast by yourself, you're gonna scream your head off. But when you play Outlast with a couple of friends, you're just gonna scream a bit, and you're just gonna end up laughing. And you're like looking out for the monster, so he actually gets to kill you in different imaginative ways. So what's so good said I missed these stories from the start. Will YouTube? Yes, Friedorf. Everything goes on YouTube. So we have the regular show, that's Pinball Storytellers, that goes into the Pinball Storytellers playlist. And there is the Q&A and the Twitch talks. There's a different playlist where the Q&A is from Honorbound, and the Storytellers talk to Twitch chat. So everything is gonna be there. Maybe Headless Horseman. Ravenloft, there's a lot of horror aspect in the D&D rule set. I don't have Ravenloft. No, that's the only one I'm missing. The three board games, the three famous ones, the Legend of Dritz, Shardaron, and Ravenloft is the 4E board games.
Yep.
I am missing Castle Ravenloft. which I could not find in Romania, at least until now. I think probably I'll find it at Comic-Con this year.
I've actually never played any of the 4E based board games.
You know why I get them though? The only reason I get them is because of the minis. It's the only way to get minis in Romania, because there's overly priced on when you get them from like the US, for example.
You should have. No, it's too late now. But what? there was a Kickstarter done by, I can't remember. It was a minis company, and it ended up getting like overfunded by almost $1 million. So they kept adding extras for everyone, and they ended up with like 200 or 300 minis for $1 a mini, and international shipping was only $20, I think. So you could have gotten almost anything you wanted.
Yeah, it's think about Kickstarter.
It's too late now, but
yeah, you need to be there at the right time.
Yeah.
As to what next, Alice in Wonderland would be a great story to do next. Yes, Joe, it's a great story, but I think we want to go for a smaller format just at the beginning. So we want to go for a small format as we get familiar and we get more and more into this show, because it is in the end untested. It's an untested formula. So we're still getting used to it. We're still getting the gist of it. You to actually know what the show is about, and it has great potential. That's the thing I love about it. We can do anything with it, but I think we need to choose. We need to step by step it, like take it easily and not jump into a whole book. That's pretty big. Like Alice in Wonderland would be pretty big. It would not be a one session thing.
I know we seem amazing guys, like this is all planned out and we're like really proficient. The reality is we're just making this up as we go along, and we're pretty good at it. But doing something as complicated and interlocked as anything that's like a novella or novel length would require a lot more preparation, and we would, especially because we love the stories. Like we're doing this because we love stories. Doing Alice in Wonderland, which is a story that I love quite a lot, would be very complicated.
Yep. That pretty much sums it up. I'm not saying that we won't do it. Like I want to do something big, but not now. I'm little steps as we grow, and in the end we'll get to do bigger stuff, as we talked in the first Storytellers Talk to Twitch chat. It's gonna eventually happen where bigger things come in, but at first we want to keep it simple, and we still want to find a format that everybody loves. Like for example, we tried out a fairy tale when the first like Red Riding Hood, and we did it a together thing. Now what we did is we basically did not know what each other would throw at us. So this I call this a more of a campsite story, the campsite stories format, where I throw something at him and he's part of a character not knowing the story, and he takes part of it as he would be if it was a real D&D situation, like a real just adventure, where I have it overly planned on page, but it can go everywhere from the initial situation. So doing something that is a lot bigger than that is going to be a big step, and we're eventually going to take it, but not yet. Not yet. So, Justin, what do you think would be interesting to see? I think we should give chat the gist. Again, we have no idea what's going to be next, so this is not something we talked about before. He literally showed up 15 minutes before we started, so we had no time for prep. So, just let's talk it right here. What do you think would be a good idea? This might change again. Like people watching this might not be the true thing. What do you think might be a good idea for next show? Anyway, chat is asking for options, so let's give them a couple of options.
I think like stuff that would fit in the hour format. I think any of the Grimm's tales would be pretty good. Most of the Hans Christian Andersen stuff would be okay. There's some Asian and like Native American fairy tales that I think would be pretty interesting to do. We could do science fiction short stories I think would be really fun. There's a lot of science fiction short stories I know that would actually be really interesting. Mythology. Actually, wouldn't be a fan of most of the Greek stuff, but a lot of Norse mythology would be pretty interesting.
I actually have a lot of Greek stuff that you would like, for sure. The Greek mythology was some kind of a passion for me. Like mythology itself was some kind of a passion for me. My old childhood, I still have a lot of books on it, and I still know by heart a lot of Greek stories.
I know the Greek stories by heart. I just don't think they'd be fun to do, if that makes sense.
I would see Hercules working out.
There's nothing wrong with Greek mythology, Walter. I just don't think it'd be fun to do in this system, like with this particular idea.
So, what do you think? Do you want to do another fairy tale or try?
We could put that as a vote. We could have chat vote on it. We could do mythology, fairy tale, sci-fi short story, or like modern fantasy, and we could do like a chapter out of Wheel of Time or Game of Thrones or
somebody please
Malazan or the Black Company.
Somebody please tell me in chat what was the thing that you do pulls on the vote thingy. That's
Stropple.
Stropple. Okay, good. That's Stropple. Okay, let's just. I'm gonna do a small short Stropple for you guys with the ones we have right now. So it's gonna be. I'm gonna repeat them. Mythology. Fairy tale. Sci-fi. And there's a fantasy and fantasy. Okay, I think that's it. You guys should not be seeing this. 1 sec. Come on, create pool. And it's not working for some reason. What's this?
Joe, that just depends on prep time. Like, I've played Vampire the Masquerade pretty extensively. I've played GURPS pretty extensively. I've read systems that I've never played, but I have a really good memory. I literally remember the rules to most of the systems that I've read, even if I've never played them. And as a player, and as for this format, it doesn't matter if both of us know the rules. It only matters if one of us knows the rules. The other person can be like, "Can I do this?" And the other person can be like, "Well, no, the rules say you can do this," and suggestions. And so it's just a matter of.
Set up a. Sorry,
it's a matter.
Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
No, sorry to interrupt. Seriously? Oh, okay. I got it. I got it.
That's the most common error. I make that one all the time. So it's more a matter of prep time to know we're going to be doing a system in advance and like go and read it and refresh myself on the system. I actually have been reading about some comedic RPG systems that I've never played. Like, what was it? Bimbos with Guns is the name of an actual RPG system that, if you read the rules, it's pretty hilarious. Like, how the world is supposed to work according to the system. I haven't thought of a good story that like matches up with it, but I've been thinking about it. So we've actually been reading different systems and trying to like match stuff up and just seeing if we can go off in different directions.
Like, for example, the weird thing is that he knows a lot of systems and I know a lot of systems, but few of them actually intersect. Like, I played Mutants and Masterminds a lot, Warhammer, Mouse Guard. What is it I played?
I've never played Warhammer, for the record.
Yeah, there's a lot of systems that each of us individually have played, but different in a way. Like, for example, I've played extensively 3.5. So, for example, if I said the system I know most about, it would be Warhammer and 3.5. Why? Because I started out with Warhammer. Like, Warhammer was the earlier Warhammers were the first ones I started out with, so I'm pretty familiar with the rules.
And like the system I know best, because I can literally quote like page numbers for some of the rules, is 4E. Because I just was very very happy with it overall.
Oh, and sorry if I'm a bit too low on my microphone. I'm gonna try and fix that. I don't know why this is happening. I have no idea. I think I need... Is it okay now as I speak because I have the microphone literally in my face? I think this is how it's supposed to be. Like, I need to be right in front of it.
Is there like a gain on it? Or like a software gain somewhere?
There's no software gain on the snowball. No. Still.
Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade would be really interesting.
People seem to be liking sci-fi.
Really? I didn't actually click on the poll. I'm not going to vote. I'm just going to look at the results. Okay. Sci-fi short story.
So I'm going to post again for those who didn't see it. Please cast your vote over on there. What you would like to... Oh, I forgot about short stories. I just took out fairy tales as for... But, well, that... Still.
No one voted for mythology. All that talk about how you guys thought mythology was cool and no one voted for it.
Okay, so just give out your votes, guys. Give us your votes. Even the lurkers. Come on. Please give us a vote so we know what you guys want. Because we can have fun playing either of these. We want to know what you guys want to see most. Okay, so if sci-fi is gonna be here, let's talk a bit about sci-fi. What do you want to look into?
I think we should do a short story.
I agree with you,
the first story that came to mind, because I love it, but it wouldn't work, is Cold Equations. But it's very much on rails. There's like no possibility of changing things up.
Again, that would be said for most horror stories, but then again, we managed to do that.
In this case, it's because the premise of the story, and I don't want to completely ruin it, but a girl sneaks away on a rocket ship, and the pilot has to jettison her because math. He literally won't be able to get to where he's going, and they're both going to die if he doesn't jettison the extra weight. You can't, and the physics just works out that way. You can't just have extra weight on a rocket ship and expect it to work out.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. I forgot to add horror. If you guys really want horror, there's a lot of you wanting horror, just say in chat #horror right now. If there are more #horrors from different people than there are votes for the sci-fi straw poll, we're gonna do horror. I forgot to do that, so just do in chat right now #horror if you really want horror. And if you don't have an account on Steam or on Twitch right now and just watching this but are not actually part of chat and you want to say something, I'm hoping you have an account on Twitter. Go on my Twitter and just like tweet at me #horror. Nice. Twitter is Chucky616 or Cavalier Guest.
Is it
okay?
I have to go look at my library actually.
Yeah, that's the same
thing. If sci-fi short story wins, I'm gonna go look at my library. Because I actually have a real library of books.
Almanac of Time Travelers, which are about 55 authors into one book, or about horror, or about sci-fis and time travel and they're basically short stories. It's an almanac of short stories. That becomes something very interesting. Oh, it seems like... Okay, so it seems like we have 3 on horror. 3 on horror, guys. So if we get to like 2 more, we'll be continuing on with horror.
I'd like to note for the record that horror will probably not involve another dominatrix. So if you're voting for horror just in hopes to see Chucky be dominatrix again, just give it up.
No, yeah, it's a one-time thing, guys. It's if I do it too often, you're gonna get used to it, and it's not fun that way. We need to come up with new things to operate and scare you at the same time. And your camera just okay, it's back. Have you played the travel system? I have not, though I have heard of it.
I've read the books. I've never actually played it in a real game.
Okay, so that is a an option as well. So do you have let's go into maybe sci-fi horror or horror. Do you have any idea for horror? Just pointing out if actually horror wins. We need like 2 more votes for horror and it wins. Or unless, let me just check the straw poll again. Has sci-fi gotten more votes? Nope.
No. You could do I mean, there's so many options for sci-fi. I mean, Heinlein short stories, Asimov short stories. Like, there's if you put those two guys together, there's literally hundreds and hundreds of options.
Yeah.
You could do the Time Traveler story. You could do any of the Hugo collections. You could just go through those and pick one.
I think would be best. What I'm thinking is, let's do another one. I'm liking this format, to be honest. Me throwing stories at you and I throwing stories at. Do you want to do that again?
You want us to each bring a story?
Yeah, not because this is a realm where most likely, like percentage-wise, you won't know what story I bring and I won't know what story you bring. So we each bring a good story, as we did today. Maybe do even more, like have a backup one if it takes, or if it takes like too short, or I die off doing something stupid. Which is very probable.
Oh, wait. I gotta check something. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that was loud. Why not both? Well, yeah, I think we can definitely do sci-fi horror. I think I did the straw poll a bit wrong. But then again, you guys are here in chat, and you can definitely tell me if you really want something if you want to see something. We're here to show you that. So for those wondering, this is essentially my girlfriend's first attempt to put makeup on me. This has never happened before. This black eye is pretty good, and it's not real.
All right, I'm back. So if sci-fi wins, I'm going to do a story out of this book. The editor is Spider Robinson. The title is The Best of All Possible Worlds.
Interesting.
Spider Robinson, as many of you know, is a science fiction author. He picked some of his favorite stories and put them in a book. But then he went to the authors of each of those stories, and he asked them to pick their favorite story, and they are also in the book. So it's a collection of some really, really amazing stories.
That's a book that I want to get now.
Yeah, it's actually been reprinted several times, surprisingly. Normally, short story collections do not get reprinted. You print them once, and if you don't get it, you're just done. But it's been reprinted multiple times, and it's an amazing little collection. And some things don't even qualify as stories. Like the sword scene from The Princess Bride is in here as like its own little thing, even though it's just a chapter in the actual Princess Bride book. And that's not fantasy, but some of them are. That's not science fiction either.
One second. You talk to chat as I search for that book, because I think it's the same thing on short stories. It's a collection of short stories. One second, I want to see.
But anyway, it's near and dear to my heart. So I will probably do one of the I will do one of the stories from this book, if it wins. I might do some Theodore, and there's some Theodore Sturgeon in here. There's some Heinlein. There is some Niven, some Oliver Lafarge, some Terry Carr, Robert Sheckley, Dean Ing, who is a really brilliant writer that most people have never heard of, Anthony Boucher, and Anatole France. Okay. Ooh, the Time Traveler's Almanac. Yeah, I see that.
So, these are how many authors have written into it. And we have the ones you guys know, so I'm going to just mention the very popular ones. We have Douglas Adams, Isaac Asimov, Ray Bradbury, Ursula K. Le Guin, for those who don't know, the Earth Saga series, George R.R. Martin, which you should read, Michael Moorcock, and H.G. Wells. Okay, so there's a lot of nice stories here as well. I think I would best go for that. I think the idea of bringing up each of us a story is pretty good. Are you still here?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that should be the next format. Again, guys, we might change. This is not a definite yes, we're going to be doing this. Most likely. This is a most likely we're going to be doing this. For those watching on YouTube, again, feel free to post comments about what you want to see. What would you like to see different, or what you don't like and what you like. Because we want to see your input. I'm interested in your feedback. So, anything else that you guys want to ask or tell us? One thing I want to mention though, if we're going to be doing sci-fi ones, I think that format next week should be a 2-hour format. Just because usually sci-fi short stories take a bit longer. I'm not sure though. It depends on what we bring. The horror stories are pretty short. The horror stories are very short, but sci-fis are much larger usually. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see how it works out.
Okay, so we'll see about the next week chat, and that has been Pinball Storytellers for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're interested in watching Hearthstone, this guy over on here, I think this is how he's on the re-overlay. He's going to be streaming some Hearthstone right after this. Or are you streaming Final Fantasy Tactics?
I'll probably do Hearthstone for a little bit, at least. Let's see if I'm getting frustrated with it or not.
Okay.
Hearthstone's not being nice to me the last couple days.
Good luck with that. And for those who want to see Lords of the Fallen, I'm going to be streaming some Lords of the Fallen right after this. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the Pinball Storytellers, and we will see you next week on Wednesday at 10 p.m. And we will definitely, I think this is talking for both of us, we'll definitely do events like specials like this more. Because I think it was mentioned in chat for Valentine's Day. Yes, we'll definitely try and keep up if it's possible for both our schedules, events like that. I know Justin has this whole on his stream, each day has a something, has a celebration, something. We'll try and keep the very important ones and do them with Pinball Storytellers and bring something thematic with it, because stories, after all, is what we do, and those are the best days for stories. So yeah, see you guys later, and have a good one.
Bye guys.
Stick around a couple of minutes. So streams are starting again. And have a happy Halloween. I want to do that right. Give me. And have a happy Halloween.